Another kind of idea about this. So Tom Pelissero on the Rich Eisen show, just about where the whole Baker Mayfield situation has gone and kind of how it's gone dark for the Browns.
Why would this be dormant right now?
He's due $18.8 million fully guaranteed at a time that the Browns are not simply going to give him away, and they don't intend to release him, and there just aren't very many starting jobs available. So if he's going to be traded to, let's say, hypothetically, a Tampa, which, of course, may want a young guy to groom. They got Kyle Trask there, too, but maybe you're thinking ahead and you want the next guy behind Tom Brady. You're not going to take on Baker Mayfield, who right now would be making double what your starting quarterback, the greatest who's ever played, Tom Brady, is making. So you would need Cleveland to eat a chunk of that money.
There's another thing by Dov Kleiman. Initially, Browns wanted at least a second-rounder and more for Baker Mayfield, refusing to take on the money and that contract. Again, also noted that some teams didn't believe Baker was a first-rounder in the 2018 when the draft, when the Browns made him number 1 overall. Now, that might be a little bit revisionist. I know a couple people had him rated as the 5th or 6th quarterback, but I don't know that he was outside of the first round. But it's interesting, when you think about it in the terms Tom Pelissero put it, he is going to be making twice what Tom Brady is making. That gives you a little bit of context.
That tells you why it's tough to find a trade partner. The Browns may have to eat all of the contract to get rid of him, and that is hopefully something that they've pondered. Look, you might be able to find a team that's willing to take on $5 million, but asking a team now at this stage of free agency, at this stage in the quarterback carousel, to take on $18.8 million for 1 year with no guarantee that he's going to be there this year or the year after it. You're not going to franchise tag Baker Mayfield. That would pay him $37 million in 2023. That's not going to happen. So they're in a rough spot because of the timing of everything. I think Tom alluded to that. They're going to have to eat some money or make some concessions or just flat out cut him to get rid of him. And again, that's something that nobody wants, including Baker. You don't want the stigma of being released like that, although we were just talking about Baker and the chip on his shoulder. That might put the chip back up there a little bit. That might be something that he would benefit from. But, yeah, it's really hard to say, okay, here's $18.8 million. Well, that's more than Tom Brady's making. That's based on how Russell Wilson's contract is. That's more than he's going to make this year for Denver. That's a really tough sell for an opposing GM right now and an opposing fan base. And look, Baker's certainly polarizing. If you're trading him into somewhere, some of your fans are going to love it. Some of your fans are going to be like, please, what are you doing? And that's a headache that, quite frankly, a lot of organizations don't want at this point. Not when you've got a draft coming up. You can get a Malik Willis, you can get a Kenny Pickett, you can get a Matt Corral. All those guys have a lot less downside perceptive to the fans than what Baker Mayfield does right now.
And the one thing is Andrew Berry may try to hold on to him and see if somebody gets hurt in training camp that makes it more palatable, somebody that's expecting to contend. That would be the long game is that. And can they do that? I don't know. I don't have to answer that question. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a question.
Yeah, it is a good thing because
I don't want to have to answer that question.
That's a dangerous game to play, and I'm not sure that Andrew Berry wants to play that, but he might have to. Look, it's not a good situation. I understand AB trying to make the best of it, but at some point something's going to have to happen, and quite frankly, I think the Browns are going to take something on the chin there that they don't want to take. But they knew that when they traded for Deshaun Watson. That's the cost of doing business to acquire Deshaun. Part of that is having to deal with the Baker mess, and I'm not sure that they've thought through fully before they did it what's going to happen with Baker, but it's something that look, we're going to be talking about it for a long time until it happens. It's going to be a topic on this show whenever we're talking Browns. That's just the nature of the beast.